life, and it's been God's favor on my life to just have the opportunity to be here. And I also don't think it's a coincidence that Coach Howard got his last win on November 1. And I got my first win on November 1. And I was born November 20th, 1969, 2 days before Coach Howard coached his last game on November 22nd, 1969. So that was almost 54 years ago. And 15 years ago, next Friday, I was named the interim head coach. And all I can tell you is it has been an amazing experience. And you know, this record is just shared by everybody who's been on this journey and been a part of it for the last 15 plus years. It's just that simple. And I'm 53 now, but I still feel like I'm 40, and I know I still got a lot of years ahead of me. And you know, I'm just thankful for our fans as well, for all their support, for providing us the best, without a doubt, the best home environment in college football. I really appreciate our fans because they've been a huge part of this. And then finally, I want to say thank you to Tommy Bowden, you know, for bringing me to Clemson, to Terry Don Phillips, to President Barker, our board of trustees, for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to work at a great university like Clemson. There's not many people out there that get to work at a place like this for as long as I've been able to work at it. And I'm just really thankful for that and all the people that have been involved. But most of all, I'm just forever grateful to all the young men that chose to be all in and help build what I think is the model player development program in all of college football, and one of the most historically consistent programs in all of college football. So I'm just so thankful for them, and I know we got many more great moments ahead, and for everybody who's been involved in it, I love all of you, and just, you know, onward we go. And and again, just hopefully I'm here a long time and we win a lot of games, but to me, Coach Howard, he's the guy that set the tone here at Clemson University, and I'm just thankful to have a platform and a foundation to work on that he put in place here through his commitment, his loyalty, his sacrifice, and all the players and coaches that worked alongside him. So great day, and proud of our guys for finding a way to get a win.
Coach, I think Shipley had 86 rush yards in the second half. He said that at halftime, Coach Spiller told him to be a little bit more patient with his runs. Seemed to do the trick.
Yeah, we just needed to kind of reset and refocus on some stuff, and then we need to get him ball. You know, I think he only had 4 carries maybe in the first half, and again, we were behind the chains, and the field position was really bad. We just miscued on some opportunities. It was frustrating. But hey, we settled in. That's why he played 4 quarters, and you know, we were able to really get that run game going and lean on it in the second half, make some plays in the passing game as well, just enough to find a way to win the game.
Dabo, what's the thinking on the 51-yard field goal? Supposedly, you said, I think you brought Whites in for the shorter stuff. Do you not have anybody you think can make those? Is he making them in practice?
Yeah.
Okay, and you feel good about that going forward? With a few weeks, would you consider some open tryouts to see if there's a kid on campus that could do that?
No, we've got our roster set, and we're confident with the people that we have on the roster. But no, he's about 53. That's probably his range, and you know, the confidence comes from practice. I mean, he really hit it good. I mean, it's a tough field goal. It was a good kick, good effort, and just was just a little left, but he had plenty of leg, and so you know that the thinking was, hey, I think he can make it, and I've seen him make it in practice, so just came up a little short. But Robert Gunn he's not kicked in 2 weeks. You know, he's been battling a kind of he's only kicked on game day for the last couple ball games. He's not kicked at all during practice. He's not kicked a single field goal. So we've been trying to just rest his leg. He's been having a little inflammation in his thigh, and it's been sore. But he's just been showing up on game day and bombing it. So he's a guy that, I mean, he can make it for about as far as you want, but he's got to get back in the competition. We're not going to run him out there until he gets back to practice, and he's got to go win the job back. You know, so, but White's done a nice job, and again made a big kick today, and a good effort from the 51-yard.
I think all of White's misses have been left. When he misses in practice, or have they been left, or no?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
On that exchange, what happened?
Just poor ball handling.
Club
We'll see it on tape, see it on tape, but, it's period. I mean, it's on the quarterback, and that's what we do every day, so, we've got some critical error, so.
Coach,
gotta be cleaner.
Coach, you got that week off coming up. How do you plan on using that to your advantage? And second of all, did you wake up and want to twin with me this morning?
Say it again. Did I wake up and what?
Did you wake up and want to twin with me this morning with a pink blazer?
Did Twitter with you?
Twin.
Oh, twin! Oh, they said Twitter. I was like, I don't have Twitter. Yeah, I wanted to twin with you today. Exactly. So great. Mine was from Belk about 6 years ago or so, but still going strong. I'm missing a few buttons though. I realize that. I apologize for that. Have to get some more buttons shown on there. I don't remember what your question was. What was it?
Your week off.
Oh, the week off.
What do you do
Yeah.
with it?
Well, there's a lot. It's a big week. Again, I look at, we need to beat Open this week, and so there's a lot that goes into it. A lot of self-scout. Obviously, you want to get a head start for the next opponent, and do a lot of crossover work. And utilize all your staff from a defensive standpoint and offensive standpoint to really study. See what the opponent sees and see if you can help each other out. So that's a part of it. And then both from an opponent scout and a self-scout, we'll do a little bit of that crossover stuff. And then we want to get healthy. Obviously, there's a huge opportunity for us to get some guys healthy. Putnam played his 3,000th snap today. How about that? Unbelievable. So, we'll take advantage of getting, obviously Nate and Antonio didn't play today. They're both really close, and so this is huge for them. And just guys, your game, this is week 7, plus you've had, a long camp. So it's just a lot that these guys have been through. So a chance to physically help them and then hopefully mentally advance a little bit, I think is our objective. And then, by the time we get to next Monday, it's not a typical game week. You're way ahead, and so hopefully that can be something that will be to our advantage as we, go into that next game.
Coach, defensively, and you talked about how great that unit was all day long, but it really seemed like the closer their backs were to the wall, the more they ramped it up. The turnover early, then they just shut Wake Forest down inside the 10-yard line, and then in the second half, you feel like you've got to stop on 3rd and long, and you get a tough call right there that keeps that drive alive. But those guys, it's like they didn't blink, and they just came right back. They stopped them again, held it to a field goal, and that really just kind of allowed the rest of the team to breathe and reset things. So where does that fire and intensity from that side of the ball come from with those guys?
Well, I think it goes back to preparation, our coaches. I mean, they did a great job of preparing the guys, and we've gotten better each week. Those guys have really developed it. One of the areas that we definitely need to improve from game 1 to now is points off turnovers. I mean, bad things happen, right? That's why you sign up to play defense. Bad things happen. So, man, let's try to minimize touchdowns in the red zone. And, that was a huge part of the day today. I mean, the stop was massive at the start of the game. To get no points right there, it's huge. And so I'm really proud of them for that. And then, just details in what we do. I mean, 230-something yards. Again, most of it came on that last drive. We had a couple of tough calls go against us today. That sometimes you just have to agree to disagree. It was a tough day in that regard, but I'm proud of them. Again, that just shows growth, it shows belief, it shows preparation. There were some big-time plays. I mean, I thought Barrett Carter, he made a couple of one-on-one tackles in space that were awesome. I mean, our guy was just better than their guy. And again, we made a lot of competitive plays on the ball, which is something we did not do against this team last year. We hit the quarterback, we got some pressure on him. We tried to not let it be a slow mesh. We tried to make it be a fast mesh by trying to, get some push up front. And, we made some adjustments with our pressure. Initially, kind of keeping the safeties. We were slow playing those guys, trying to make them give it off, and we were a little late there a couple times, but we ended up pressuring a little bit. We got control of the run game. So just a lot of good things, but just how they responded. You know, I mean, you know, you had the touchdown, I mean, the first turnover, and then the punt return after you get a big stop, right? You got a huge stop, and you have this, you're going to get good field position, and then all of a sudden you got to go right back out there and play. And we have, you know, tough call. So I'm proud of them. I really am. It was a great day. Probably the worst thing we did was the last drive, and we had a tough penalty on that one too. That was a pretty easy call, but I'm really proud of them. They competed their butts off, and I'm proud of our staff. I mean, they've done a heck of a job. That's a really good group over there, you know, playing at a high level for us. And again, some of our best players weren't even out there, and they continue to play well.
Coach
Yeah.
Tyler,
Dabo, can you give an update on Jalen? And also, how close were Wiggins and Williams playing?
Lucas, you talking about Lucas?
No, Jalen Phillips.
JP.
Oh, JP,
Yeah.
he'll be all right. I mean, he's been kind of just battling something, same thing. I might say Jay. He's been, he should be all right. I think the biggest thing is we'll see what's going on with Sherry and how close was Nate and Antonio? Pretty close. We dressed them out, you know. So they're pretty close. I think both of those guys will be ready to roll when we head down to Miami.
Coach Tyler has been so great this season. Had a rough one today,
Yeah.
especially in the kicking game, but
Yeah.
he bounced back later with the big catch.
He did. And you know, I mean, that's football, right? I mean, he's been a rock all year, and he's made so many great plays for us. And but you know, you play this game long enough, you'll have a day that